Hey everybody, today I'm going to talk about a couple of U.S. military pilot survival knives. These are the earliest of these types. So this one is the Marbles, which designed the knife, and this is the first model Camillus, which actually won the contract to build the knife. So if this is the kind of stuff that interests you, stick around. Alright everybody, welcome back to Free America. Today I've got something interesting to show you. Now, this will probably be one of the last videos that I make about U.S. military pilot survival knives, but I think it's a good one. So, remember how the knives were originally designed by Marbles? So this is a Marbles knife. Now, it's not a Vietnam War era. This is not like, I guess they were in the late 1950s, early 1960s. This is a modern copy because I can't afford $600 or $700 for a real one. But I'll show this one to you because it's faithful enough to the manufacturing process that it's worth seeing. This is the original, or I should say the first model that Camillus made based upon the design by Marbles. And it's got an interesting feature that I want to share with you, a couple of interesting features that I want to share with you. And then this is a later model 6-inch. All of these are pre-1962 style, right? This one is manufactured recently in China, unfortunately. And this is the first iteration of the 6-inch knives, and I'll show you the difference. Also, I want you to take note of the sheaths. So this is the sheath that this reproduction Marble comes in, and it's close, but no cigar. This is the sheath that this knife came in, and this is the original style of sheath that both the Marbles and the early Camilluses came in. And then this is the later style of sheath. This is I'm not sure where I got this one from. I just put it in here because this knife didn't have a sheath. But as you know, later on they went to a metal backing to keep the knife from jamming all the way through. So let's take these out. Flip them like this so you can see the Camillus marking. Let me see, make sure you can see that. You can do it. All right, so this is a 6-inch knife, which they only made up until '62. And this is also a 6-inch knife with the same markings, right? Camillus, New York. Now, I believe that this knife may have been polished by the owner, and that's why it appears to be silver, but I'm not certain. These knives did not come from the factory polished this way. So the earliest models of these Camillus knives were screw-on pommels. All right, let me see if I can show you that. See, the difference is this is a peened pommel. So the original plans, the original model that came from Marbles had the screw-on pommel. Okay. In this case, this one is finished brightly. Not sure if I can see that or not. Made in China. But other than that, it's an interesting comparison. Now, the Marbles did make knives like this for the civilian market. The knives that they made for the military did not, or the knives that they designed for the military did not have brass, and they did not have the colored spacers. Otherwise, this is the knife that the U.S. military bought, and Camillus was the one that made it, and this was the very first one. Not the very first knife, but the very first style. Now, there weren't very many of these made, so I'm very, very happy to get my hands on it. Let me show you real quick the differences between the sheaths. So you can see with this sheath, which came with this knife, that the snap is down here around the handle, just above the guard. It's not up here, okay, like it is on all the later ones. Also, this sheath is folded over, so this is one continuous piece, right, from here all the way over. Then it's folded over and stitched and riveted, and these holes are so that you can lash it down. Okay, it also has the rivets, and it has the knife, or excuse me, it has the stone. Of course, the earliest knives, sheaths that came with these knives did not have the metal backing, right? The one that you get from Marbles with the Chinese-made copy is like this. So it's much more similar to a modern sheath, a modern civilian sheath, right? So this is an extremely interesting knife. This is not something that you see every day, with the screw-on pommel. Very hard to come by, and even harder to come by with the original first model sheath. So I will say that I didn't pay a hell of a lot for this knife, because the guy that was selling it didn't really know what he had. So buyer beware, and also seller beware, right? I'm not going to offer to give you a lot of money if you don't ask for it. So, but we can quickly take a look at the Chinese copy. One of the first things that struck me about the knife is that the pommel is not necessarily symmetric to the knife, but then again, the screw-on pommels weren't, right? So if you look at that one, the screw-on pommel on this one is also not symmetrical. The peened-on pommel with this is symmetrical. So the grooves in the leather on this knife are not uniform, and frankly, I think we're missing one, right? But this was not a very expensive copy to buy. So I believe I got this knife from Smoky Mountain Knife Works, I believe. And if I'm not mistaken, it didn't cost a hell of a lot of money. I want to say somewhere in the neighborhood of $25 to $35. So if you're looking for a good representational piece, it's not a bad one. Oops. Well, one other thing about the pommels that I wanted to show you was, you see how this pommel is gradual in the way that it comes up to the bolt head, and the Camillus ones are not, right? They're 90 degrees, and then rounded a little bit, beveled a little bit, but not like this, right? And I will show you some Marbles factory drawings right here, so that you can see that that was their intention. Okay, once again, thanks for spending time with me again out here in the shop. I've created a playlist for all of the pilot knife videos, and of course I'll put this one in there too. And I hope you enjoy it. I hope you find it interesting and entertaining, if not educational. And give me a thumbs up if you like this kind of stuff. Give me a thumbs down if you think it sucks, and leave me some comments. So, thanks again for joining me. God bless America.